Just to pick your brain as well, there's been some news that's come out today in the influencer side of boxing. The fighter Viruzz come out and openly admitted to using PEDs when he recently knocked out DK Money. We see a lot of this in boxing where people come out and they protest their innocence, and you hear a lot of things said about trace samples and things like that. This has been like a complete opposite. I mean, we've seen there's a statement come out now where he's saying right now I can't say anything, no one had anything to do with my choice, no one knew anything about this, my friends, family or team, no one but me has chosen this path. Now, how we talk about dangers in professional boxing, but let's put it plainly, he knocked this guy clean out. This is a situation where this guy could have been permanently damaged from this, and he's openly admitting taking.
And also he got a bonus that night for doing it.
Well,
got a bonus on fight night, which you're not getting back, but you see the big deal here. It's not just money, but it's also like, I could give a shit about the decision. I could give a shit about, oh, they're gonna overturn this. Who cares? That's not the point. The point is, DK Money went in there with Viruzz, who was sauced up. The number they're saying, 10 times his normal amount, depending on what his normal amount is, could be astronomical. Could be, it's still 10 times is huge. Like, put the number, like for me, for example, my free testosterone, I've had it tested a couple times this year, it's like 794. Flex, I'm right there. Well, let's just say I was 10 times that. 8,000 NG over DL. That's ridiculous. That's like me turning into an actual gorilla and going in there. So, one, this is a conversation we haven't really broached in the influencer contact or combat sports subject yet, is PED usage. I don't actually know how stringent testing is. I don't know what we're doing, if they're in camp, if they're just fight week tests, are we following up post-fight? Like, for example, a VADA test would be like an in-camp test about a month out, 2 months sometimes. Then you'd have your fight week test, pre-fight, post-fight, just to make sure, and then you're off doing what you're doing. But even that doesn't get the full story. Like, you could do a USADA route, and you're still having these pockets of windows. So this is kind of the Wild West in the influencer scene. I know the PBA is the one that supposedly got this, but even that, reading the statement, it was like, it was alleged that he failed the test, and then he admitted to failing the test, and then the PBA investigated. So the guy basically told on himself, and then they went and investigated it and was like, oh, okay. But I don't even know how they'd have the tests available to investigate. How many times did you test the guy? You know, like, I don't know how many dudes are even getting tested on these cards. That's the big thing, is I don't know.
I think it's important to remember as well, although this is influencer boxing, these guys are still putting hands on each other. And
10-ounce gloves.
And like you said, 10-ounce gloves, and he knocked DK Money clean out. What we always say in boxing, we need something like an overall governing body to sort this out in terms of the influencer scene, because of it's, I suppose, it's one scene almost kind of thing.
That's why you're not getting it.
Yeah,
it costs a lot of money.
But because he's come out and admitted it, and it's been there to see.
Something's going to change now.
Something needs to happen. I mean, would you 100%. Like to see permanent bans? What would you see? Because this is something that can alter lives.
100%. Like, DK has got he got away clean here, luckily. And I like DK. He's a good kid, and he actually was winning the fight. Just for that to happen, who knew at that time? I thought, oh, this guy's just in good shape. Yeah, Viruzz has got to be suspended pretty much indefinitely. Like, you just can't have it, right? Because now he's admitted to doing it. Like, it's not like he's even trying to dispute it. He's like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
And another thing, my team didn't know. I'm not gonna bring his family into this. I don't know how you would have gotten your hands on something like that without someone advising you on it.
Yeah.
You don't just go to the testosterone store. Like, let me just go to the high test store. Let me just go to the PED store. No, dude. There's a coordinated effort there. So I don't know how, I don't know how much investigation there needs to be, or if it needs to just be a clean, boom, nope, broke the rules. And the one rule that we should have that you don't break is putting another person at even more risk artificially because you want to enhance yourself because you're a pussy that can't fight without it.
Completely agree. Look, Wade, I appreciate your thoughts on that matter. I know these are always sensitive subjects, but
something's got to be done, though. Something has to be done. You can't allow this stuff to happen. I don't care if it's Misfits, Kingpin, whoever. If we're gonna have influencers box, they're already not good. So giving someone an innate advantage in power when technique isn't there to protect them is the worst thing we can do. Someone has to do something.
Appreciate it, but